Okay, all right. The blame always go round. INEC blaming the citizenry, and the citizenry saying INEC are not doing well. Philip, INEC always on us that what we are supposed to do, we don't do it. Is that true?
I'm surprised that INEC, in their wisdom, especially in the wisdom of Amoputa, the chairman, believes that the party crisis in political parties is the result of the voters' apathy. It can't be, what cannot be as funny as Amoputa, because how party crisis become the loss of confidence of the voters on INEC. Political parties do not conduct election. If one political party is in crisis, there are other political parties that can go for election. If INEC was doing the right thing, they were being fair to all. If their election were free, fair, and acceptable by all, people would have come out to vote. We just saw what happened in Abuja area council election. People didn't come to vote. The reason being that some persons who even came out to vote, they were moved from their voting point to another voting point without their knowledge. Is that part of the? Is it the crisis within the political party that caused it? And again, when you are talking about the crisis in the political party as that has led to apathy in the voters apathy response to voting, how true is that? Who is aiming and abetting the crisis in the political party? Is it not INEC? We are here in this country where the Labour Party, when they said Abure is no longer the chairman, and they had a critical committee, and INEC recognized what is unknown to the constitution of the Labour Party. We are here in this country where PDP conduct a convention. Instead of INEC recognizing the convention, they went and recognized a self-made NWC. We are here in this country when few persons gather together, a permanent presidential candidate of SDP or concord with some persons and get their own NWC, and INEC recognize that NWC. Who is even causing crisis in the political party?
Okay,
INEC or the party themselves?
Now, do you agree that the reason for voters' apathy is as a result of the problems in the political party? Are there problems in the political party? Obviously, yes. Who is causing the problem in the political party? Obviously, the ruling party in connivance with INEC. Do you agree with that?
I think INEC is a political party. INEC is a political party. What INEC should now ask us to do is for some of us to come and be card-carrying member
of INEC
as a political party, so that we can even begin to get our tickets from INEC. You see, maybe the name is affecting them. INEC, remove your eye, come off our neck, because the name is supposed to be independent. That is the I, National Electoral Commission. But now this is the worst of INEC we had ever seen. I thought after Mahmoud Yakubu there will be no other person as worse as that, but oh my goodness, anytime I remember the name Joash, and then the surname is a tongue twister, Amopeton. You know, you can see even Philip find it very, very difficult to pronounce the name.
Just INEC chairman.
Yeah, INEC chairman, because the name is a tongue twister. So some of us, when we hear the name Amopeton, all we just think about is, my God, we're in trouble.
All right, Dr. Piper, let's look at it.
I have no confidence in INEC.
Let's look at it this way.
Yeah.
The political parties are in turmoil.
Caused by INEC. Amplified by INEC.
Now let's land it this way.
Yeah.
By somebody will say the ruling party trying to cause distortion, chaos in the political party.
Using INEC as a weapon.
That's number one.
Yeah.
Then INEC now recognizes those that the court now say they are chairman of party. When the court,
Supreme Court,
not only the Supreme Court,
yeah.
the party have a constitution,
yeah,
deposited with INEC,
yeah,
as an umpire,
yeah,
and they follow this procedure.
Yeah.
INEC knowing that these chairmen don't come through this procedure, but they are recognizing them. That means they are working with the ruling party.
That's why I told you INEC is now a political party. INEC is an appendage of the ruling party. It was never like this. Was it not an INEC chairman that oversaw the election of Goodluck Jonathan? And Goodluck Jonathan was so sure about transparency, and he made the declaration that his ambition is not worth the blood of any Nigerian, and that if he loses the election, he will step down. He did. Can we? What happened to that INEC? What happened to that INEC? From the moment we had Mahmoud Yakubu, from that moment we started seeing the degradation, the downward slope of INEC. It has come to the point now where Nigerians have no confidence whatsoever on the elections of 2027.
All right,
we know it's a foregone conclusion.
Let me come to you. INEC officials, as it is, whether they are commissioners, whether they are chairman or is a chairman or whatever it is, ad hoc, sometimes they have grown tough skin in listening to the voice of the people. There's a French word that says voix populaire, voix Dei, that the voice of the people are the voice of God. I may not agree with that, but I mean, it's a saying. The people will sing one side, INEC will sing the other side. Nenadi Usman, the guy at SDP, PDP political party, their chairman that have been recognized did not come by anything constitution. So why do we believe that INEC should conduct a party and people go and conduct an election and people should go and vote?
Exactly. Before I address that issue, I want to mention Goodluck Jonathan. I think Goodluck Jonathan is part of our problem today. He said his ambition was not worth a drop of blood of any Nigerian citizen. But since he left office today, Nigeria had lost millions of Nigerians.
He was a
Democrat.
He was not the one that
he was a
charge.
Democrat.
That means
what I am saying, if he had taken a right decision at that point, maybe there would have been spill of blood, but Nigeria would have been better off.
So you had expected Goodluck to have become a dictator.
I've said that. I'm not going to that.
Okay.
Now, coming to the voters' apathy that INEC is complaining, INEC Mopoti should go back and go on self-reflection and ask himself questions. Has the so-called election he conducted in Abuja, can he himself call that election free and fair? Can he say that a level playing ground was provided for Nigerians to participate in that election? That in Abuja election, you brought out soldiers, police, civil defense, and all of that for election. Were they going to war? So therefore, if INEC had not done anything to show that what they are doing is civil, why will the people be confident to come out to vote? Is it, if I'm still on Abuja election, that you want to conduct an election on a Saturday, you declare curfew from 8 p.m. to 6 p.m.
It has never been done before.
Are you telling the people that they are free to move? Are you not putting fears in the people's mind? You want to conduct an election, you are sending soldiers everywhere. I'm more likely to do self-examination and self-reflection to ask instead of shifting blame. It should first of all go back to INEC and examine INEC if INEC had done the needful, because himself, when on assumption of office, he told us that transmission of result is not part of the laws that established INEC, but that they were mere regulation. He's telling us that they will work in such a way that their rules and regulation will be synchronized with the Electoral Act, so that they will have a seamless election. That the only problem he said they have is the crisis in the political parties. When his own has, they have not shown to the Nigerian public that they are prepared to conduct free and fair election. There's nothing to convince the Nigerian citizens to show that the 2027 election will be free and fair. And they have not shown in any way that their result, because the citizens said we want real-time transmission of result. INEC and National Assembly said they will do both manual and transmission. Where is the confidence in the people? When the people don't have confidence in what they won't waste their time to come out and vote. It's not the crisis in the party. After we have established that the crisis in the party is a man-made crisis. There are no crises. Because like you said, they are laid down rules. Every political party has a constitution. And in their constitution, it is spelled out how their leadership will emerge. This so-called leadership that INEC is working with, do they emerge through the constitution and the procedure of the parties? You should ask yourself the question. Who is causing the crisis?
Now, Dr. Piper, let me come to you. You see INEC blaming people. We have laws that govern this country constitutionally.
Yeah.
Now, amended, whatever, we have people that voted for a particular political party, and a candidate of that party was voted for. After a while, the person carries the vote of the people that was given to the party and go to another political party, and INEC will still recognize that vote. The constitution says resign.
Now let me tell you,
Has INEC be hard on any of them that say before you go to this political party, resign your position?
it depends on what political party you go to. So when you look at it, it depends on what political party you go to. If you resign from the opposition and you go to APC, no consequence whatsoever. In fact, you can do it with impunity. And then take note of the type of resignation they are doing. They do not formally write a letter to their political
Signifying
party, signifying that they have left that party, because that becomes a document. Look at all those who left the to the APC. How many of them actually wrote a letter to their political parties, signifying their resignation? And then in the National Assembly, you are supposed to announce it in the floor of the National Assembly, during plenary, that I, blah, 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 I am now a member of this and that and that. They don't do that. So all the defections we're having are verbal defections. We have never seen something this terrible. And just to add to what Philip said.
Doctor, hold on.
Yeah.
Any verbal defection
Yeah.
is also documented.
Yes.
Very well documented and can be used as an evidence.
It can only be used on social media, and they can only tell you that
even in court. No, there's no misquote.
Yeah, because we see them on the video. Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
It can be used.
The only person that can do that is INEC. So that's why I said INEC already should be registered as a political party. So instead of saying I want to be a member of APC, ADC, PDP, Labour Party, SDP, you can say I want to be a member of INEC, so that they can start giving cards. Because INEC is supposed to be the one, looking at these things and say, hey, I am the umpire here. The last time I checked, you were of the Labour Party. And then I watched a video and I saw you decamp from Labour Party to this party. We take you to court. Have you seen INEC instituting any legal action against any of these people? They are supposed to be the one, I don't know the legal terms, but they are the ones who are supposed to be.
Because they are the umpire.
They are the umpire. They're supposed to oversee these things. But look at the case of Labour Party. This is the craziest of it all, because the Supreme Court, highest court in the land, have already made a pronouncement that the leadership of any political party, cannot be decided by the court. It is subject to internal mechanism of the party. And then all of a sudden, a lower court, now instructed INEC to mention someone who did not emerge from a convention, someone who has no control of the National Executive Council of the party, no control of the National Working, Committee of the party.
The neck of the party, he's not a member of the
neck. He's not a member of the neck. And
there was no neck that sat and said that we are going to have a convention.
Nothing like that. And then the courts ordered INEC, and INEC carried out such. I hope they know that history is watching them posterity will judge this generation.
Philip, if INEC come out to transfer blame from what they are supposed to do to the citizens, what are the citizens supposed to do? Should we just fold our hands and be quiet and do nothing?
Well, it's a difficult question to ask. To
The
answer.
citizens should rise up.
What would we ask the citizens to do? I think the citizens are already taking steps by boycotting their action. That's why the man is crying out that the apathy, because the citizens have lost confidence in the umpireness of the INEC. They don't see them being an umpire anymore. They see them being biased and taking sides. So therefore, they decide not to participate in anything they are doing. That's why you saw the election in Abuja Area Council. They said below 10% turnout to, where you have a 10% over 100. I think that's complete failure. So INEC should do self-examination and self-reflection. What are we not doing right that is making the people not to turn out to vote? What do we need to do to create confidence in the people, to make the people turn out to vote? The buck rests with INEC, not the people.
Philip, I just want to let you know that what is happening right now is deliberate. INEC is being intentional about this. Do you know what INEC and the ruling party want to achieve? They want voter apathy in 2027. Amopiton is only saying this as if the voter apathy is frustrated by him. He knows what he needs in 2027 is voter apathy. They know that the easiest way to continue perpetrating themselves in power, especially with the upcoming election in 2027, is through voter apathy. Everything they are doing is orchestrated to lead at just one thing: voter apathy. They benefit from voter apathy. Voter apathy is a beautiful thing to any politician who wants to perpetuate himself in power. And I'm telling you that voter apathy is the strategy for 2027. And if you ask me what the people should do, they should rise up. They should let them know that they are in millions. If Nigerians, we have 36 states of the federation, if 1 million people from each state rise up and head towards Abuja, we will have a new Nigeria. But unfortunately, the youths cannot do it because they are busy with TikTok. They are busy watching Premier League. They are busy on Facebook content creation, and they are lazy.
All right. The youths are lazy. Of course, you can see that. I was asking somebody the other day, I said, the Gen Zs that we have right now, he said, what do you think about them? He said they are unemployable. Sometimes you may look at it as criticism, but you should take a reflection at yourself and look at, are they employable? Well, it's not just about what INEC says, it's about what you do with what INEC says. We'll be right back.